Hey guys, so in our last video you saw us hanging out with Sione's sister Ame, who was here visiting from Hawaii. She went home yesterday, which we're really sad about, but today is another day for an adventure. We get to go back up to Seattle and finish using our city passes, and the plan is to check out the Argosy boat harbor cruise tour and the Seattle Aquarium. Not really sure what to expect or how we're going to be able to pull a lesson out of these two experiences, but we may be very surprised and end up getting something out of it that we had no idea about. So here goes. Our first stop in Seattle was Pier 55 to pick up our tickets for our harbor cruise. You need a physical ticket to get onto the boat, so we took the QR code from our CityPass to the ticket booth and in a matter of minutes had our tickets and departure time scheduled. We also made sure that we were one of the first in line so we could have first dibs on our seats.
Alrighty, so we're at the harbor looking at the city of Seattle. To me it's overwhelming, but it's kind of cool looking at all the skyscrapers.
So far, we pretty much got first picks for our seat, so.
We're at the back of the boat. The hour-long cruise allows you to take in the awesome views of the Seattle skyline, Elliott Bay waterfront, the mountain ranges, and shipping terminals.
There's a guide that narrates the entire boat ride, and so you're able to learn a lot of really fun facts about Seattle. Some of them are really odd, and we found ourselves looking at each other kind of chuckling because we were like, who would have thought?
Instead, what I'm going to talk about right now is what is just below the space here. You'll notice a couple of different sculptures. This is an extension of the Seattle Art Museum. This is Sculpture Park, aptly named, right? So, I'm a teacher. I'm going to need some class participation right now. Everybody see that big old red spiky thing? Now that is one artist's interpretation of an animal local to the Pacific Northwest.
Between this tour and the underground tour that we did a few days before, we discovered that we actually have a love for having these guided experiences, and we would have never learned this about ourselves if we had only done things that we were naturally interested in. So guess what? We did find a life lesson from this.
From time to time, do things that are not in your main interests.
And you said, let's abandon that. You said, no, a better idea. Let's go walking through one of Seattle's worst neighborhoods. Then up and down, endless rickety stairs, into some dirty, drippy, smelly, musty, moldy, rat-infested ruins, so we can talk about dead people and primitive sewage. Who's excited now? Weirdos. All right, so this is what you signed up for.
So he said that this building right here is a 3-story building. That one. But there were ladders connecting those types of buildings to walk across the street. Crazy stuff. Our next stop was the Seattle Aquarium, which was just a short walk away.
And the first thing we saw was a fish with one eye.
It's got a little thing wiggling in there, like an eye nerve.
It's like, did it lose its eyeball?
Dude,
Crazy.
turn the other way. I want to see if you have another eye. Yeah, he was just hovering over there for a little bit, and we were looking like, doesn't look right. Yeah.
There were some pretty interesting fish at this aquarium. My favorite one was in the section with fish exclusively found in Hawaii. And there weren't just fish at this aquarium. The sea otters were so cute. We learned that they actually hold hands when they're sleeping.
My favorite part was watching the sea anemone and octopus being fed.
Now today we're using a stick. We call this a feeding stick, appropriately named, but we will sometimes deliver their food in other ways that we consider to be enrichment. We want to mix things up, especially for our intelligent animals like the octopus that are problem solvers. So sometimes we'll put their food into containers with a screw-on lid. They might put them inside of toys, like a Mr. Potato Head, and they have to pull off body parts to get to the inside where the food is stashed away. Either way, he is tasting that food long before he touches it and long before he sees it. And that is because of all of those white discs all over his arms. Not only do those suction cups help to anchor them and to grab onto things like food, they are used to taste everything around them in the water. So imagine if you could smell, if you could taste everything you smelled today. And imagine if you could taste everything.
No tienes
My head right now.
You should. ¿Sale? Está increíble.
It's bigger than your head for sure.
Si no, ahorita te echamos. Si no, ahorita te